Hi, and welcome to the first episode in what is hopefully going to be a mini-series on how to set up Vista for busking. Thank you to everybody who voted in the poll. Busking seems to be a very popular choice, so I'm hoping that this series can kind of answer a lot of questions and maybe even introduce a few people to some new functions. So a small disclaimer to go with that. Unlike my other videos where, if you ask for a certain type of effect, I can show you how to make a certain type of effect. Busking is something that is a very individual thing to each programmer and each setup and each show. So there is no one correct way to busk. At the end of the day, if the show on the stage is what you wanted, then whatever you did in the desk, programming wise, was the right way of doing it. So this is going to be more of a broad spectrum look at all of the tools that Vista has and all of the techniques that you can use and some little tips and tricks that might help you get around the board a little bit easier. So we're going to start with presets, and that's because I've seen a question on Facebook and I thought that's actually quite a nice kind of way of starting. It's going to be one of the first things that you put into the console after patching, of course. So all I've done before this is I've patched my lights, I've made a layout, and I've made some groups. And I'll go through that in a sec. But first of all, let's introduce you to kind of the rig that I've created for this. I've kind of gone with one of each type of light to get, again, a more of a broad spectrum, and hopefully it will fit in with kind of what you guys have in your rigs or what you plan to use in rigs. So we've got a spot / beam hybrid, so we can do some cool beam looks, gobo looks, kind of anything a spot or beam can offer us. Then I've got a moving wash light. Then we have some LED buttons, so we have some multi-celled stuff going on as well. Then we have some blinders, because you need some good blinders on a rock and roll gig or a live gig. And last but not least, our front of house, our front light for our band. So that being said, if this is going to be a mini series and this is the rig we're going to use, I think we need a name for our band. So please, in the comments, if you have any kind of good or fun names that we can give this band, let me know. And yes, if you want to name the individual band members as well, I'll also go along with that. The winner, I will mock up your kind of band name behind as a little banner. So first things first, presets. So presets in Vista, and more specifically using presets to busk. First of all, I'm going to show you kind of a layout I've built, and then I'm going to show you kind of how to create your own. So when I'm busking, I like to have positions, colors, beam and gobo all triggered from presets in live, and I like to use live timing to go between them. And I usually do it from a layout kind of like this. Now this is just an example layout, it's very, very basic, so please don't think that this is the only way to do it. This is just to show you kind of how to put one together. Please go ahead and customize it to your liking. You don't have to do it in rows like this, you can do it in like boxes or however you like. I would usually put this on a second screen, and obviously that would be much bigger and you'd have a lot more space to do stuff with, but this is kind of just a one screen kind of little layout to kind of simulate how you would go about this. So I'm going to go through it, I'm going to show you how to use it, and then I'm going to show you kind of how to make one. So at the top I have some groups. I have my fixtures split up into some useful selections, so I have kind of like a selection for all of them, and then I have like an odd and even selection for my washes and spots. Under that I have position presets. Now I like to make two types of position preset, one that is split and one that is kind of a whole preset. What I mean by split preset is this first bank here contain nothing but tilt, information, and this second bank here contained nothing but pan information, and this one that focuses on my lead singer contains both pan and tilt. So I'm going to show you how that works now. So I'll select my spots and I can make them go into the up position, and now from here I can now either have them fan in, fan out, cross in or cross out, and these will work with any of my tilting options. So instead of having to create lots and lots of whole presets, so like a fan down stage, a fan mid stage, a fan audience and a fan up, I can just create a few tilt presets and then just apply all of my fanning and pan information over them. This is something I do to save time and also just to kind of get me started. I will of course create some pan and tilt presets if I want a really definite look, and this is for things if I really want to either have a stage look that I definitely want to nail, or if it's a position actually on the stage like my lead singer here, then I will include both pan and tilt. And of course this will also work in conjunction with anything else, so you can create even more kind of funky looks from all of your presets combined. Next, I like to have all of my color presets global, and the reason I do this is so that no matter what fixture group I select, I can change the color of anything that I have selected at any time. So instead of having to have hundreds of color palettes for each type of fixture, I just have kind of one nice selection of colors that I want to use for my show, and then any of my fixtures can use them at any time. Same goes for zoom palettes. So I've got zoom here from 0, 25, 50, 75 and 100, and I made these global so both my spots and washes can use them. So under this I have some Gobo presets. So this allows me to select any Gobo I want from any wheel. So I've got my first wheel at the top here, and then an open, and then I've got my second wheel underneath, and then an open, and then I have my prism. So I've got an 8 facet and a 3 facet, and above this, so my first Gobo wheel has the option to spin, so I've created some Gobo spin presets as well: a slow, medium, fast, very fast and stop. And I've also created some prism spin as well, so I've got a slow prism, a medium prism, a fast prism, very fast and a stop. Now below all of that I have some live timing snapshots. Now this is what allows me to busk with all of these options and make it look really neat and tidy and smooth. So by clicking on our 5-second snapshot here, now everything I do will take 5 seconds. So we can go up in 5 seconds, we can zoom in, we can change color. I can then select all of my even spots and change their color to something nice and contrasting. Select them all, go downstage and fan in. I can then increase the time to 10 seconds and do a nice slow fan out. And I'll bring in my washes using my group. Select them, make them cyan. And now, another really cool thing you can do is I can take my spots up over 35 seconds. So I'll click 35 seconds and up. Then I'll take my washes, click 5 seconds and down. So I can have 2 different timings going on or as many timings as you can manage at the same time. So because I clicked 35 seconds when I selected the preset for the spots, it's still going to take 35 seconds. But because I clicked 5 seconds for my washes, it took 5 for them to come down. So you can even create live split timings for yourself, which can be really cool. I can take both lot of odd fixtures, make them orange, even fixtures, make them green. So you can get your whole stage looking nice and uniform. And then we can put all of my spots on the main focal, zoom them out, select my washes, zoom them all the way out, make them go up, and cross out. So this is just a small demonstration of what you can do using lifetime and presets, and literally just picking from one layout. So everything is contained here that you need, and it's very easy just to add gobos, make them spin slowly, fan them out, all using lifetime, so it can be as fast or slow as you like, and basically you can get any fixture doing whatever you want, whenever you want, as fast or slow as you want, which is kind of the idea behind busking, is that you can manipulate your rig and get it doing anything that you want it to do really quickly. Another bonus from making a layout like this is that it frees up a lot of space on your actual console. You don't have to have all of this laid out across all of your buttons on the console. I would suggest maybe putting some groups on your console so you can use hard buttons to quickly select them. But other than that, having all of this in the UI and just having it on the screen and literally able to just select a fixture and then manipulate it with one touch, you know, whatever you want to do with it really quickly is kind of the dream. And then adding lifetime onto that as well gives you even more kind of subtlety, and you know, you can end up making it look like the whole show is actually queued, and it's not, it's just you manipulating values in live. So next I'm going to show you how to create this type of layout. So now I'm going to show you how to store some presets and some of the options that Vista has. I'm also going to show you how to create a layout, how to create some live timing snapshots, and also how Vista filters your presets for you. So first of all, let's make a new preset. So I want to grab my fixtures and we will tilt them. We will change the color and we will change the zoom as well. Now, once you're happy with the look that you want to save as a preset, there's a couple of ways to store it. You can hold down your green modifier key and click New Preset at the top, and you'll be given a dialog box like this. First thing you can do is label it. So we'll label it yellow downstage. Next thing you can do is either make it a global preset, and this will share its values with everything in your rig. You can make it a fixture type preset and it will share its values with everything of the same type. So I've made this with my spot fixtures. So if I clicked create fixture type values, it would only share it with my spot type fixtures. If you leave both of these blank, it will only work with the fixtures that it was recorded with. So we're going to leave both of them blank, so I just want my spots to be able to use this. Global is best for things like color and beam, like I showed you previously, as they can be translated very easily. I tend to have both of them unchecked when I'm creating position palettes because I only want that group to use that position when I recall it. So the other options we have here are our features filter. So what this means is by default, if I use my green modifier key and click new preset at the top, Vista will want to store everything that I have manipulated. So I've got position information, color information, and beam information in this. If I wanted to just have beam, I could uncheck position and color. Or if I just wanted position, I could uncheck everything and just hit position. But for this example, I want everything, so I'm going to keep them all selected. Now I'm going to hit OK. Now I've saved that preset. So if I go to my preset quick picker and go to all, scroll down, you can see that my yellow downstage preset is here. Now if I clear and I select it from my all tab, you'll see that it'll bring that whole look back for me. But I mentioned about how Vista will filter presets for you. So if I now clear this out and I go to a position quick picker, if I click it the same preset but from my position quick picker, it will filter out everything and just give me the position that was recorded. If I want the color from that preset, I can go to my color quick picker and add in the color. So this is a really handy way that Vista gets even more use out of your presets for you. So you can create one preset and then Vista will automatically filter out all the component parts for you. And it works the other way around when storing as well. So if I want to store a new position preset, and I know it's just going to be a position preset, even though I've got color and beam and everything else going on in live, I can hold down my yellow modifier key, tap in my position quick picker, and Vista will automatically make this a position preset for me. If I tap in my color quick picker, Vista will automatically make this a color preset for me. So it works both ways. So whatever I pick it from, it will give me that component, and whatever I store it to, it will store just that component. So there's a couple neat little shortcuts for you to play with. Now if I delete this, you'll see that it'll disappear from all of my pickers because it is essentially the same preset, just split up into its different components. Now I'm going to show you how to create that split preset. So a preset that contains just tilt information or a preset that contains just pan information. So let's create a new tilting position for my spots. So I'll have my top row all the way up. I'll have my bottom row kind of shooting and skimming the stage, and I'll have my mid row kind of going straight out. Now I'm going to zoom these in so I can see a little bit better. Now I just want to save tilt information. I want this to be a new tilt preset. So I select my fixtures, I go over to my positions tab, hold down yellow, click in my position quick picker. Automatically I'm only saving the position, so even though there's color and beam and all other kinds of stuff going on, it's filtered down to position for me. I'm now going to call this split tilt. I'm going to go over to my features, and at the end you'll be able to click on this icon that brings up your features filter dialog box. Now this is where you can get even more in depth about what you want to save. So if I click on position and open this up, you can see that I can uncheck pan and have this as just a tilt preset. And you have multiple options for all of your parameters. So if you want to save a specific thing from your gobo or your beam, then you can come down here and you can make sure that only that specific parameter is being saved. But for now we're just going to focus on tilt, so we're going to hit OK and then hit OK here. And now that's saved as just a tilt position. So as you can see, I can now use my panning options with it. And it's the same with pan. So if I go and make a new panning preset, so let's do another split for instance. So let's fan out the top. We'll fan in the mid truss, and we'll fan out the bottom truss. That'll do. Now let's tap in our position quick picker. Again, Vista's making it a position preset for me automatically. I'm going to call this split pan. Then I'm going to go to my filter options and then uncheck tilt. And now only pan is being stored into this preset. Hit OK. And now I can use that in conjunction with any of my tilting options. Cool, so that's how to store presets. You can also, I'll explain quickly how kind of a global preset would work. So I'm going to select just one of my spots. So I'm going to create a new color preset using this one spot that will be able to be used by all of my fixtures. So let's create a new color. So we'll go for maybe like, we'll go for like a pale lavender. Now I'll go over to my color quick picker, hold down yellow and click in it. Call this one lavender. Now make sure I've got my create global values box checked. Hit OK. And now if I bring all of my other fixtures downstage, if I click on this lavender color palette, everything now shares that value. So that's kind of one of the bonuses of being able to make something global, is I can mix using just one fixture and then apply it to any. Right, now I'm going to show you how to make a layout. So I'm going to be using just this one screen here, but if you have an external screen, I advise you to actually put all of this stuff on an external screen, so you can always have your fixture chooser kind of and all your programming on one screen, and then all of your presets and triggers and everything else you need on another screen. So first things first, create a snapshot that will bring you back, if you're using one screen, it will bring you back to this home screen every time. So to do that, go to Snapshots. I have made a new page called Nav for navigation, and I've already made a home one, but I'll delete that and I'll make it again for you. So say this is the layout I want to come back to. Hold down yellow, tap in your Snapshots quick picker. We will call this home. And then have everything unchecked except window workspace. Then hit OK. Now this has been stored as our home snapshot. Now let's create a busking layout. So first of all, I'm going to delete all of these windows. Like I said, if you have a second screen, do this on a second screen. I'm just showing you how to do it on one screen, because that's what I've got available to me right now for this example. So I'm going to go to Add Dockable Window, and I'm going to add a quick picker. I'm going to dock it at the top, and now I'm going to drag my live screen all the way to the bottom. And now from here I can start building. So the first thing I'm going to do is add another dockable window and dock it at the side. And this one will be for my snapshots. I'm going to go to navigation. And this way I can always get back to my home layout at any point. And now you simply just add windows and arrange them as you want. So I'll make this first one groups like I did before. Then I will go to view, add another dockable window, dock this one below. We'll go to presets, we'll make this one position. Then view, add dockable window, and then presets, and we'll make this one color. View, add dockable window. We'll make this one Beam and Gobo. And we'll make the last one gobos. Once you have everything kind of where you want it, there's a few other neat little things you can do. Obviously, you can go to your settings for any quick picker and you can change them to be just icons, just labels, labels and icons, labeled as icons. I prefer to have everything set to grid so I can drag things around. You can also, using this drop down menu, go to compact, which gets rid of your drop down bars and adds a little bit more space. So I like to make all of mine compact as well. So it just gives you that little bit of extra space. Once you're happy with your layout, simply hold down your yellow modifier key, tap in your snapshots quick picker, and we'll call this one busk example. And hit OK. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make some live timing snapshots. So we're going to go to View, we're going to add a dockable window, another quick picker, change it to Snapshots, and I've made a page already called Live Time. We're going to make it compact. Now every time you add a window or you change a setting to do with any of your windows, you're going to want to make sure that you update your snapshot. So to update a snapshot, after you've arranged everything, hold down the yellow modifier key and then just click on the snapshot you want to update. And that's that updated. Another reason I like to have all of my quick pickers set to grid is that using the green modifier key or the Alt key, you can drag your icons around. So I can select them and drag them anywhere. Now I want to make a new live timing snapshot for 2 seconds. So obviously I want it to be in between the 0 and 5 seconds. So I will simply draw a box around all of my icons, hold down my green modifier key and drag it. And now go up to your live time, make it 2 seconds, hold down your yellow modifier key, tap in the gap, make sure you have live timing selected and nothing else, label it 2 seconds and hit OK. And it's as simple as that. So hopefully after watching this you will have a better idea of how you can use presets live and how you can set up a snapshot and a page to busk from, and just proving the point that you can also jump between them very, very quickly. So I can go to my busk page that I made earlier, or I can go to my example page I made just now. But feel free to obviously make it your own. Add whatever presets you need for your show, colors, positions, etc., and mess around with how these layouts work. Obviously this is a very simple kind of just top-down list arrangement. If you prefer to have them in boxes or bigger, smaller, etc., that's kind of up to you. Hopefully this has given you a little bit more of an insight to how to busk with presets and how presets work in Vista and how they can work live. They will also work in conjunction with effects and strobes and bump buttons and flash keys, but I will be saving that for the next video, as that is a huge subject all in itself. Please let me know if there's any questions you have about this video, and if there's anything else that I need to explain a little bit better. And if you have any questions that I can answer in the next video, put them down below. I will be putting this video on Facebook, but I'll also be uploading it to the Vista forums with the rest of my tutorials, so go and check them out because there's some other stuff I've done there that might answer other questions. Hopefully this has been useful. Please let me know what you guys think down below, and see you in the next episode.